Special event today, and I want to thank these beautiful ladies here for doing this for us, you guys. Look, ladies, we have people from everywhere. You see how I get distracted with the chat? I'm like, uh, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna pretty much tell you how they've been experiencing their success. All of them have been they are students of mine. They're doing their own thing. They're thriving, which I'm really happy to see. And the one thing that they all have in common is that they're willing to help others. And that says a lot, you guys, because I wanted to keep this meeting private to just my private team. And then I was like, well, let me see, like, let's see. And they were like, no, we don't mind doing it for economy. And this is big. This is really big. These are people like sharing their nuggets with you on how they're experiencing their success. We're not going to BS you here, which means that we're not going to sit here and like talk a lot and actually like give you no value or try to convince you to buy something. That's not what this is. This is a straight to the point. They're going to tell you what they're doing to win. I'll introduce them. We're going to try to go in order of the flyer that we put out, but this is going to be a lot of value. Now, I am going to turn off the chat because it can be very distracting. However, we are going to keep a Q&A open. So if you have a question for the speaker, like wait for that speaker number one to talk, please, and allow them to do what they're doing. And if they deem the question is worth answering, we'll answer it. If not, you can always, I'll leave a questions thread in the group after we're done if you want to ask more questions. Everybody cool with that? Tuning in from a cruise ship. Sean is on vacation, y'all. Awesome. That's awesome. That's dedication right there. You see that, ladies? Look at this. Y'all got 170 people up in here for y'all. Okay? All right. So, the first person I am going to introduce is going to be Virginia. As many of you know, Virginia has been with us for quite a while. And I know a lot of you see like she's able to get into trades real quick and then all of a sudden she's done for the day. And you're like, what? Like, how the heck? So I figured it would be great to have her talk due to the fact that she does have a job, she has other responsibilities, and she's able to balance this into her life. So it's not like where, she's sitting in front of her computer all day. She's got stuff to do. And I want this to be very relatable. So, Virginia, I'm going to turn off my camera just so I'm not distracting anybody. And you can take the floor. Again, what I would like for you to do is just pretty much just go over what your trading day is, your plan. What do you do? Like, what do you do? What are some confirmations that you're looking for? And that's pretty much it. That's what I want is for you to just show what you're doing to win. Cool? All right. Oh, wait, I just muted you. I'm sorry. I forgot I made you a co-host. My bad. Hold on. Can you unmute yourself again? All right, let's see, y'all. Let's
Am I
see.
unmuted?
Yes. So I'm gonna turn off the chat right now. I know y'all want to show her some love. I know, but we always sometimes we get spam and all that, and that's not what we're doing today. We're trying to focus. So I'm gonna turn off my stuff so that you can do what you do and be highlighted.
Okay. Hi guys. I'm Virginia. Nice to meet you all. So primarily what I trade is Tesla. Tesla likes to move very quickly in the mornings. Um, First thing it likes to move is that morning burst at market open. But just like Jess teaches us, Tesla likes to move quickly in the morning, but it also likes to retest structure very well. And I'm very big on market structure and price action. So that's pretty much my biggest thing when it comes to trading is learning your price action, learning your candles, if you will. What are they telling you? Learning the story behind the candles. And I would say that was probably how I kind of fell upon, I guess you could say, my style of trading is because I needed to learn price action very well, and just always will tell you, and we always say, go to ECA, go to your back office, please watch her videos on price action. You have access to this. Learn price action because it's telling you a story. And the reason I started utilizing the smaller time frame is because I was able to read that story. And once I was able to read that story on a smaller time frame, I was able to identify retests, pullbacks, when resistance was hit sooner and when was support hit sooner. And once I could do that, it was easier for me to get in and out of trades on a quicker time frame, on and execute trades quicker. So when I noticed that Tesla would have a certain pre-market level, I would watch pre-market. First thing in the morning, I noticed that it likes to either respect pre-market and take off either in a call or a put, and then it will come back and retest it. And it will either respect that level and you have to sit on your hands and wait, or it'll completely disrespect that level and go in the opposite direction. If you wait a few minutes, your move will be coming very shortly after. Now, this is somewhat of an advanced move. So if you're a brand new trader, don't stress not being able to see this just yet. Still continue your 2024 boot camp like you have been instructed to do. But what I'm doing is the same thing that Jess teaches on the higher time frame, is waiting for structure to be broken and retested. And once it is, I'm in. I wait for the next set of market structure to be broken, and then I'm out. And once I started doing that on a consistent basis, I noticed I had a win every single morning. I started back testing this also on Meta about a year ago now officially, and I noticed the same process can be done on Meta, but on a different time frame. On Meta, I use the 4-hour and I compare it to the 15-minute. So on Meta, I watch in the morning on the 15-minute time frame. It takes off in a morning burst. I do not get in. I wait for the 15-minute candle to pull back, and I watch what strong level of either support or resistance is retested. And then I determine from there what is broken and retested, a break and retest, or a BART, if you will. And from there, I take my trade, either a put or a call, to the next 4-hour level. That is usually the next set of market structure on Meta. Not every ticker has the same level of take profits, nor the same level of market structure respect. So I don't trade them at the same time. Never am I in a Tesla and a Meta at the same exact time. They don't take off at the same time, and they don't pull back at the same time. But what I found consistent with trading these is I was able to gain confirmation on the higher time frame. I was able to confirm price action on smaller time frame. I was able to get a 2 to 3 candle retest, and I was able to exit my trade based on the close of a candle on a smaller time frame. That's 4 confirmations for me to get in and exit a trade. Most of the time, you are taught by your coach, say yes to Jess, to at least have 2 to 3 confirmations. I have a total of 4. I consider that an A1 trade. How I fell upon this method was a year ago when I started trading Tesla consistently, is I was only trading one time frame. I was on the hour, and I noticed that I kept missing moves. And for some reason, I would get in when it was getting ready to pull back. Every single time I would get in and it was starting to pull back in the morning. And I didn't realize it was because I hadn't back tested the times, the entry time. It was pullback time. Tesla always pulls back at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, Jess teaches this in her courses. You just have to write it down and then start paying attention to your charts. When I saw that it did this consistently every single day for an hour, I realized, why are you getting in on the trade at that time? It's over. The juice is gone, right? So I realized I need to be in that trade either early and get out, or you don't need to be trading at all around that time and you need to wait. That's how I started getting in earlier. I'm usually in by 6:45 a.m. I've waited 15 minutes after market open, meaning I've missed any type of manipulation. And I'm usually out by 7:15. So I'm out before the pullback. Then I leave for work. That's my day. I make at least 5% on my account gain every single day, which is huge on an account. 2 to 3% every single day is magnitude. If you started any type of account with at least $500 in a brokerage account and you did 2% a day for at least 261 days a year, that's about 83,000 a year. That's compounding and not taking anything out of an account. So I average about 5.9% a trade, and you just keep letting it add and compound every day. It's an amazing, amazing, lucrative environment.
Virginia, I'm going to stop you real
Yes.
quick. Someone asked a question. They said, can you repeat those 4 confirmations?
Oh, of course. I turned my chat off. My apologies. 4 confirmations. My first one is gain confirmation on the higher time frame first. So that can be either the 4-hour for me on Meta or the 1-hour on Tesla. Meaning I need to see either that higher time frame broken and retested or respected. Meaning it hit that level and it didn't break. It held. My second one is confirm what price action is happening on a smaller time frame. The better one I would say is the 15-minute. The 15-minute will show you either, and price action is learning your candles, either a hangman, an inverted hangman, Jess's favorite candle, the spinning top, my personal favorite candle, and gravestone doji, which is like it looks like you know when you go golfing, it looks like the golfing stick, you know, with the invert, you know, those are my favorite dojis. Looking for just a regular doji, those are price action. That's the candle dance. It's telling you your story. Hi, I'm tired. I can't go up anymore. You shouldn't be in this trade. And we're getting ready to put money. That's your candle dance. Learn that, and it will change your life when you're trading. My third confirmation, I want candles to close underneath, 2 to 3 candles to close underneath my 15-minute level. Close underneath or above. If you're going above, if you're going for a call, or below if you're looking for a put. If it doesn't close below, don't get in. If it doesn't close above, don't get in. The fourth is I'm looking for a break and a retest on the 5-minute. So I need that level broken. I need to see a pullback and I need to see it retested. If it doesn't do it, it's false and I'm not getting in the trade.
Thank
And
you.
by false, I mean false breakout, but yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that was a good question that they had.
It took a long time to get those. I've messed up a lot to get those. I'm not perfect and I'm not some special fancy trader. I've messed up a lot to get those. I created those rules. Jess already gave us those instructions, right? She already told us these are things you need to do. But you kind of have to mess up and realize, oh, that's why she told you to do it. Now, depending on the ticker you trade, maybe you don't need 2 to 3 candles. Maybe you just want one. Maybe you're swinging and you just need one big candle to close. It's going to kind of mold to the ticker you trade and how long you're holding your trades. But for me, considering I'm trying to get in and out within about a 20-minute time frame so I can go to work, I don't want to have anxiety when I'm checking in patients. I work in the medical industry. I don't want to have to sit there and go, is it a drawdown? Did it hit a level? Oh, it's just a text message. Is Jess okay? I don't want to do that all day long. I want to be in and out my trade. I want to be done. I need those things bold, happening, and done for my trade to be done. And most of the time from a year ago, if I did not have those, my trade literally, and I've been recorded on Zooms. I've been in drawdown for $100, $120. Yeah, most of the time my trades would play out, and this was on Tesla, but it's because my entry time and my price action was invalid. And I'll say that again, my entry time and my price action identification was invalid. And that's why I was in drawdown. It was pulling back and I never understood why. Once I learned what Jess tells you and implores you to learn, what does that candle mean? What is that candle telling you? What time did it happen? Now my drawdown is, and I hand to God, usually $10 or less. Today, my trade drawdown was $1.
That's
And I don't mean
awesome.
$1 times premium. I mean $1, like 4/4.
Virginia, you got another question. You have some questions here.
Oh,
Can you
sorry.
please repeat? It's okay, I got it. Can you please repeat the times you trade Tesla and what time zone you're in?
I'm in the West Coast, so I'm on Pacific Standard Time. So the market opens my time 6:30. I wait 15 minutes for it to figure out what it's going to do, because you'll be manipulated. Like Jess teaches, don't trade the first 15 minutes of market open. You will be manipulated. So I'm in usually by 6:45 if I have my confirmations, and I'm usually out at the latest by 7:15. At the latest by 7:15, and I'm done. If
All
the
right,
play isn't there, I don't trade.
perfect, perfect. You have another one. Um, Regarding economic news like today and tomorrow with PPI and CPI, do you sit on your hands or do you watch how price reacts to news on those days? Now we talk about this, but go ahead.
I backtest my ticker. I know how it's going to respond to specific news events per Jess's recommendations. And I trade specific news events. So my personal ones are Powell days, like today, and what's the other one? NFP. Is it NFP?
Yeah.
NFP? Yeah, NFP. And I do exactly as she says. The moment news hits, I mark my calendar with a up and down, what is it called? A vertical line. And then I wait 25 minutes, and then I see how news reacts. If it's a no trade, if there's nothing there, I will close my computer and walk away, because I've lost money on news days. If there's a play, which there usually is, at least a half an hour after news, then I get in. But don't get in right at news. She tells you not to do that.
Very good. We also have a webinar on that as well with backtesting news. It's, I think, in the advanced section. Someone else asked a question, but it was Forex related. You guys, this is a stock options group, so that we're not going to answer that. Very good. Awesome. And one thing about Virginia, you guys, she does show her before and after charts all the time in the group in the results thread. So she shows you where she gets in and why she got in. I'm going to say this real quick. Apparently, there's a really bad storm that is happening right now where I'm at. I am hoping that we do not lose reception. In the event that does happen, I will let you guys know. I have no control over this, obviously, but I'm getting a ton of like major severe weather alerts. So I hope we don't get interrupted, but I'm going to give you a heads up. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to post a question in the question thread for Virginia? Thank you, girl. Thank you so much. And I think you guys just need to pay attention to her in the results thread. She will show you, like she'll show you her 4 hour candle and then she'll show you what she saw in the smaller time frame. Like she shows her charts, like the before, like what she's looking for. I have a question personally because there are times where you post your results very quickly, like you're always the first person to post results in the results thread. So it doesn't match with waiting 15 minutes. Are you getting into trades the night before as well? Because sometimes your results are much sooner than that.
Yes, ma'am. I like to hold trades sometimes overnight. I'm not as great as Anine yet. I'm working on becoming better at my swings. But sometimes I do hold maybe one contract overnight. If I see very heavy volume in the afternoon, the night prior, I will utilize your price action videos around, well, it's what is it? 12 p.m. my time, but 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will check the market because Tesla will do a big burst of momentum, very big burst of momentum. And I can see if it's going to look like a put or if it's going to look like a call. And that's just working with the ticker for, over a year and a half. I just know what it is, or if it's a no play. And if I can see that, I will buy and make sure I have enough allotted time, at least a week or 2 weeks out, and I'll hold it to the next set of structure the next morning. And if I gain enough profit and it's over 5%, I close the trade that morning. and that's where you'll see my results at like 6:31 or the first few minutes of the morning. And it's just, I've noticed so much about your videos and psychology about patience and just waiting, and realizing that if I had tried to play that move in the morning, I probably would have missed a few points. Whereas just being patient over nighttime, I gained 2, 3, 4 points, and it was well worth the patience.
Very good. You have another question. Last one. What is your average drawdown for Tesla and Meta?
For Tesla right now, on average, it's about $10 or less, because I've worked on my entries very, very hard, and I'm very proud of that. Meta right now, I'm working on it. That girl likes to wick hard, and she has an attitude. So I'd probably say on average, my drawdown on her is about $55. About
Okay, that's not bad.
$55.
All right, good. Oh, wait, you got
Horrible.
another one, girl. What's usually your chosen expiration date on your contracts?
A week. I give it a week out.
Okay, very good. This is not related to what you're saying, but someone asked, I recently joined Economy. Should I start watching the videos in the recent boot camp? I'm going to tell you guys right now, 2024 boot camp is what you want to watch. That's it. 2024
2024.
boot
Yeah.
camp. All right, girl. Thank you so much. Let me open the chat so y'all can send her some love. We're not going to answer questions, but you can show her some love. And I hope you took some notes.
Thank
And I,
you.
yeah, and make sure you guys, like on the results thread every day, check her out. She shares her information on there. So if you wrote down the notes, take a picture of it. Like take a picture of it so you can see if you can dissect what she's doing. Like go to your chart and see if you can dissect the information. Like Virginia, I think everyone knows, but just to be on the safe side, do you mind typing in or letting everybody know what your Instagram is so they can follow you? Oh my gosh, I hope I'm not losing reception. Is she there? Hold on. If I lose reception, y'all stay on. I will hop on from my phone. Okay? You hear me fine still? Okay, so I think it's just Virginia right now that we don't hear. I will put her Instagram in the
Yeah,
main
I
group.
can.
Oh, okay. All right, there we go. It's Virginia Love 88, right? I think
Yes,
it's,
ma'am.
yes, there she goes. She put it in, you guys. Virginia Love, Love 88. If we lose reception, ladies, stay on because I made you a co-host. I will hop on from my phone, okay? Just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
happy to. I was nervous when I started. Sorry.
No, no, you did so good. We wouldn't even be able to tell. And I saw that you had your notes written to stay on track. So
I
that was a
did.
really
I did. I
smart
had to
thing
look
to
over.
do. A really, really, really smart thing to do. All right. So where am I? There we go. Hi, guys. The next person that we are going to introduce is going to be Miss Courtney. She got her camera on. She is ready. All right, guys. As many of you know, she took the 2024 boot camp with no experience. And that is the why I'm telling you and encouraging you to watch that one because it was really good. Courtney has done a phenomenal job. She's made over 5 figures since she has started. And she's going to talk about that journey and what she did. So I'm going to get out of here, and the only time you're going to hear me talk is if someone asks a question in the Q&A that's pertaining to what you said. So if I interrupt you, I'll say, excuse me, because I don't want you to lose. I don't want it to be too far out. All right, guys. For the other questions, like people are asking where to find the boot camp, you guys, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait. We'll talk about that at the end of the day, but it's all in ECA. All right, let me stop myself. Courtney, it is all you, girl.
Thank you. Hey guys. So as Jess said, I joined in January and I dove in with both feet, willing to learn. I had made a lot of mistakes along the way. Um, I was just really eager to learn. But I finally have the way I trade down to a science. So I trade SPX. She can be she's can be a little bit manipulating sometimes. The biggest thing that I've learned is she loves to break and retest, and sometimes that can take, like yesterday when I look at my entry, it took an additional 45 minutes before I got my confirmation to get into a trade. I'm going to tell you what when you get that FOMO and you see something going in your direction and you get in mid, and then before you know it, it goes back and it retests structure. I gave a little bit too much money to the broker when I first started because I had that FOMO. But I can tell you, if you just focus on market structure and looking for those lower highs and lower lows, or those higher highs, higher lows, that's what I am looking for when I'm getting into a trade. Now, my say yes to Jess level, if you don't know what that is, you can refer to the ECA. That is, that line makes me money. And I wait, sometimes I have to wait an additional hour for that confluence of where it's going. Now, today there was a little bit of FOMC. I did not trade because it was just too much up and down, and I was not getting any confirmations with that. Having said that, I always like to wait till after, because you are going to get a little bit better confirmation of when to get into a trade during FOMC. If you aren't on the ball, you will definitely get wicked out on that one. But my biggest confirmations when I trade, like, I do not trade the first 15 minutes in the morning at all. I like to notice, the biggest thing that I note is I do my pre-markets, my previous day lows, my previous day highs, pre-market highs and pre-market lows. And I find a lot of times they are going to reject those levels. So if there is a gap, not all the time, you have to back test this and do your work. But if it gaps up, and it could be near like a pre-market high, it may reject that and go down and fill the gap. So I try not to get too excited, but I wait for the retest on that. I don't even catch the full move yet, because I am still waiting for my confirmation that it is rejecting market structure and continuing on down. I literally draw trend lines. I mark where it's going up and where it's going down, and I look for market structure. That's what I do. Like, sometimes my chart might look a little bit discouraging, or I got way too much going on with it, but it's what I need to make sure. I need to make sure all my confirmations are there with my trends. I will circle that this is a lower high. And yesterday I had done that exact same thing. And I ended up, it was an 8-minute move, and it ended up being a like $600+ move for me in 8 minutes.
Question.
However,
Question. Sorry. Someone's asking, what time frame are you watching and entering?
So for me, I use a lot of time frames. If things are, first of all, if it's just going up and down in certain areas, I am not getting into it whatsoever. It's not a day for me to trade. I'm not going to be scalping. I'm not scalping for a quick little move and risking my capital. What I like to do for my time frames, my entry is on a 2-minute. I need to get a break and retest confirmation on a 5 or 15-minute, and that's depending on market structure. I look at the 4-hour candle closes as well to see if it is respecting that. I also sometimes look at the 1 hour as well, just to see what that's also telling me. I look at price action. I look for my hangmans. I look for my spinning tops a lot, and I look at where it's at. I'm always looking at market structure and where I'm wanting to take it. So before I'm sitting at my computer pre-market, and usually I don't trade until around 8 o'clock. But I am looking, I am anticipating what are the possibilities. Like, is it going to like gap and go up? Is it going to go up and hit previous day high and go down and do like a break and a retest and continue on down? Those are the things that I'm kind of writing down, and then I'm seeing if I'm getting confirmation. Like when I get a like a hangman or a shooting star, that's going to be a really good confirmation to me, especially if it's on like a 5 minute. And then I always wait for the next one as well to see if it's going to try and retest that level. And then I'm going to get a confirmation to get into the next one. But I'm looking for a break and retest of structure. Like right now, I'm looking at SPX and she's dancing around my say yes to Jess level. And I'm not getting that. Well, not right now. If I would have gotten in probably around 9:30, it would have been different because it was no longer making a higher high for me. Like when I look at my computer, around like, so I'm Mountain Standard Time. I got a really big, it was on a 2 minute, but it was a shooting star. It broke down, it retested, it didn't go up, and it went down to my say yes to Jess level, and it went up, and then it came down, and now it's breaking below. So I'm always looking for break and retest on mine, and I'm sitting on my hands. Do not get FOMO of trying to jump into a trade when it's midway, because it might come back up to market structure and test that level. Those
So,
are kind of,
oh, sorry, excuse me.
yeah.
Someone has a question, and then I actually have a question for you pertaining to what you just said. Someone
Okay.
said when you first started learning your ticker, what time frame were you using? Because you were trading NVIDIA at first, right?
Yeah, so with NVIDIA, I was using, I scalp NVIDIA, and sometimes I still do a little bit in the morning. With NVIDIA, I use a 5 and a 15, and I watch what the 2 minutes are telling me, because the 2 minutes are always going to tell me something. Like if I get a spinning top, like a bullish one, but I am seeing wicks trying to go down, I'm not getting in. And if I like, it has to break that. The first 5 minute candle is like, that is, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's, I very watch within that 5 minute candle of what's going on. And I'm always looking, is it going to pre-market high or like previous day high and rejecting that and coming back? NVIDIA loves to fill gaps. It might not be right off in the morning. It might be an hour later. She loves to fill gaps. You just have to back test and see when a better time to enter is, because she can be kind of aggressive in the morning.
All right, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I think that you've done a really good job holding your trades. And I want to know, what are you doing? There's another question that came in, but I'm going to go first. What are you doing to hold on to your trades and not exit too quickly? Because I know that was one thing that you mentioned having difficulty with. Now you've been able to do it, and with SPX being such a volatile pair, that can be kind of hard to do. So, what are you doing to keep your sanity?
Once I'm at like a certain amount of like in profit where I feel comfortable to move mine to break even, first thing I tell myself is I didn't lose any money today. That's great. You know what I mean? I didn't give the broker any money, so this is now a bonus. And what I am looking for is, so I started playing with Fibonacci. I'm not quite there enough that I'm confident. But what I look for is I'll look left and see where there's previous structure. So when it gets pulled back, it's going to test that level. And it's either going to say, no, we're not going any higher, or it's going to continue up. And what I do is I try to trail my stop afterwards. Like I always move it up into profit and I look for break and retest. Sometimes I end up getting like wicked out when I'm in profit. And then sometimes I get a really good opportunity to get back in. I trade one contract at a time. I do have more capital to do more than one contract. That is what I'm comfortable at. But if I get like a big like Dragonfly Doji or something rejecting a level, like where they tried to take it down and they're like, nope, I will get back in that trade to take it back up. And that happened the one day, that's when I made $2,200. And I was doing 2 trades because it wicked me out, but I'd seen that it was respecting structure and continuing on an uptrend.
Very, very nice. Regina asked, what attracted you to SPX and NVIDIA, and what solidified SPX for you?
So Nvidia, I liked her when she was really bullish. She was beautiful to me. Um, I, I'm not gonna lie, I was attracted to the money aspect of it. I liked the payout of it. Nvidia, she's kind of like my first love. Like I like the way she moves. It was almost predictable for me. Like I know that she loves to fill gaps, and then sometimes even if it's like a couple weeks later, like I have my eye out for her right now. SPX for me is it's the break and retest. Like once I finally realize like how she moves and the patience, and she pays out nicely as long as you're patient. Because you don't want to give the money any broker, like the broker any money. So I was just extremely patient, and I was waiting for those break and retests. Sometimes I might wait for like like it'll like break down, it'll retest, and I might wait for the second one just to confirm that it is continuing with trend. And I got 3 touches on my trend line. And I look to see where I'm wanting to take it and where she might reject the level or respect it. But I'm always wanting to know where I'm trying to take my trades. I'm not just getting in and praying high hopes that I make money. I'm always watching where I'm trying to take it to.
Cool. We got some more questions. Someone said, can we trade SPY the same way as SPX? The answer is yes. So I'm not going to have her go over that because, yes, that's taught in the training. Carly asks, do you watch the market all day, or do you have a certain time frame that you trade? That's a good question.
I do not. I do not. I work from home. I will say I'm very blessed that I work from home. If I don't work till 9 a.m. So I have an hour and a half. If I see a setup, I'll take it. If not, I will set an alert on my computer, and I won't even look at the market. And then I know when I get that alert, I have like 15 minutes before I even need to see if it's doing what I'm saying it needs to do. And then I'll make a decision from there on. I'm not looking at it. I got a job to do, so I'm doing that. But I will put an alert on if it's trending somewhere and I want it to hit a level and respect that, then I will get in for an additional trade or something. I max out. I allow myself 2 trades a day. 3 if the market is like really, really kind. But if those 2 don't play out, I'm done for the day. And I will say I did make the mistake one time, and people can tell you not to revenge trade, and I did it. And let me tell you, I curled up in a little ball and I cried for the rest of the day. I was so mad at myself. You'll never win. You'll never win on a revenge trade.
I do
And
want to
we'll
say, hold on now. We were there for the revenge trade. So she's a part of my team, you guys. And her attitude towards this was so amazing. Like she went out for a walk. She was like, tomorrow's a new day. It is what it is. I knew I went against my rules. And don't you know that very next day, because she came in with the clean mindset, she recuperated everything that she lost and ended up in profit, which was really good. I was really happy for you, but it was a very valuable lesson. Like she was like, I am never going to do that again. Like, no way. So unfortunately, she learned the hard way, but it burnt her so good that she knows like, this is it. This is what I'm doing, and that's it. So I want to thank you for being transparent about that, because it's really hard to get out of that mindset, which leads to my next question is, how you have such an amazing energy, you in Virginia. I know I didn't say this with Virginia, but Virginia, you too, girl. How do you stay so positive? How do you keep your mindset where after you take a loss, you're able to go back the next day, go to your screen and not feel defeated, or you know what I mean? Like, what do you do? Because you are very motivational, but if you can give some tips to some traders, that would be really cool.
Honestly, like I've had some very hard times in my life, but the biggest thing is like the pain of staying where I am and not progressing forward in my life is far worse than showing up and learning from my mistakes. Like I refuse to stay stagnant and go backwards. Like I came from, if you guys watched that replay, like I'm nowhere in green in my life. I am recovering from a massive debt that I need to pay off. And I am willing to show up, see where I went wrong, and learn from my mistakes. Like, you cannot blame that this program does not work because it does. Anytime that it, like, I take losses, like, yeah, sometimes I'll take one where it does happen. But if I take a loss because I was eager, I know it's my fault. So I stopped doing it, right? I was tired of giving the broker money. The pain of staying where I am is far, far worse than the pain of learning something new. And like I said, I started January 8th and I have recovered probably a third of my debt that I needed to pay off. Like, you better believe I'm going to still move forward. The
That's
hardest part is
amazing.
learning it. After that, you implement, you learn from your mistakes, and you keep going. You just have to want it. Like, you really have to want it.
That's awesome. Before we go on, I want to ask you, would you be willing this week to share your before and afters on some of your charts?
Absolutely, I will.
Okay,
Yes.
so in the
Yes.
results thread, if you wouldn't mind, I would like for you to do that so you can show people like this is what I saw, this is why I got in, so they can just use that as an additional confirmation to what they're hearing today and they have like a visual and an example because I think that would be really good. And you guys, yes, she trades SPX, but you can trade SPY. They move exactly the same. So if you have, you know, like you're not to that level, that's okay. It's the same thing, but on SPY. So there really is no room for excuses. Like you can use that same information. But I just
Mhm.
want to say, like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Hold
Jessica,
on, Virginia. Hold on, hold on. I appreciate it. Now, you also have Instagram as well, right?
Yeah,
So if you don't mind, I think you can type in the chat real quick before I
yeah.
let other people chat. Either put your link in there or your Instagram so they can get it before everybody starts texting when I open the chat. I want them to at least be able to follow you.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. The Courtney Mipkin. There.
All right. That's how you pronounce it. I've been pronouncing your name wrong.
It's because I have two little dots over it. I'm fancy.
I've been saying Martian, by the way. I've been saying
So does everyone. So does everyone. It's totally okay.
So someone said, Delicia said, it's amazing that you started with no experience and did the 60-day boot camp.
Oh, I didn't even know what a ticker was. I didn't even know what a stock option was. No, I knew nothing, not a single thing. But when I heard boot camp, I heard structure and learning. And that's what I thrive on is structure and being able to learn something one step at a time. And I had a billion questions going in on day one, and they all got answered throughout each boot camp. I reserved all my questions unless it was retaining to that lesson where I needed clarification that was not in the video. But if you have a million questions running through your head, I assure you they're going to be answered throughout the boot camp.
Thank you. You got another question, girl. Someone asked, what contracts are you using? And so,
I
and that girl
usually,
said, thank you. You give her hope, by the way. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
oh, that's awesome. I'm usually I'm usually probably one or two out the money. It kind of depends. Sometimes I'm just not feeling it, so I'll go like two of the money or something. I'll never go in the money. I tried that one time and it just didn't work out
It
for me.
burns. Yeah.
It
Are you
burns. It
doing, are
burns.
you,
Your losses are worse. So
what?
I'm all about the consistent small wins.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What about your DTEs? What kind of DTEs are you looking at?
Um, this is why I'm so excited to hear from Nina. I really want to get into swing trading, so I'm personally doing zero DT right now.
Hmm.
But I'm really looking forward. I've been taking a lot of our swing trading boot camp videos because I'm doing some back testing. I'm still doing a lot of work in demo, but I want to swing my way to freedom. That's just a thing. And honestly, if I can only have to do one trade a week or two trades a week, that's where I want to be at.
All right, and before because I know Virginia wanted to touch on a subject, but just to make sure you're waiting 15 minutes after the market opens, you're identifying your previous day low and high, previous market high and low. Usually the market reacts to those levels, so you're waiting to see what it's doing. You also like to draw trend lines to help you identify trend and see how the market rejects that. If it's
Mhm.
moving sideways, you're not entering. You do use higher time frames and definitely work your way down. So I know you like the 4 hour candle close method is in the advanced section, you guys. But
Yes.
1 hour as well. She was very adamant about market structure, market structure, market structure with SPX, and SPY does the same. But she's using the 2 and the 5 minute essentially for her entries. So she's getting those confirmations on the higher time frame first, and then she's going down to the smaller time frame to observe price action. Am I saying this correct? Did I get it all right?
Absolutely. And like the break and retest on a higher, like sometimes you need two of them. Like it'll go down, it'll go back up and make a lower high, and then it'll go down and retest underneath. Like you got to be patient. You just got to watch and observe how she moves. But
I
don't
agree.
do not get FOMO and get in midway down because I promise you, you probably will get burned 9 times out of 10.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know Virginia wanted to add, I had asked what does she do to stay in high spirit or to stay positive? So Virginia, go ahead. And then I'm gonna have everybody show you some love, Courtney, as soon as she's done.
Courtney, I loved your story, first of all. Absolutely loved it. Um, I just wanted to say on the positivity, I loved her comeback on the swing thing because I personally like it boosted me and it gave me confidence. So I just loved it. Um,
Thanks.
for me personally, something I've started doing was reading the trading mindset, and something that clicked for me was stop taking what happens in the market personally. And that's how I come to the market every day, is I don't take my trades, wins or losses, personally. Yeah, I'm happy when I take a win, but that excitement, that euphoric feeling is gone within about 10-15 minutes, and I'm over for the day. I noticed carrying a overly euphoric feeling like, oh my God, I'm a winner, I'm a trader. If I carry that, you start becoming an ego trader, and then you don't pay attention to your trading rules or what Jess has instructed you to do, and you start getting excited and not following your confidence. So for me personally, I win, I'm excited, I close my computer and I'm done. If I take a loss, I don't take it personally. The market is not attacking me or attacking you or coming at you personally. I did something wrong, like Courtney said. I know what I did wrong. I didn't follow a rule, or I didn't see something on a higher time frame. I don't take it personally. I learn the lesson, I write it down and journal it, and I move on with my day. So just don't take it personal. It's not coming to attack you.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you. All right, I'm gonna open the chat so we can all show love to Courtney. Please show her some love. Hopefully, you got her Instagram down. Give her a follow, you guys. Courtney, someone just sent text me and said you hit her heart, just so you know. Like, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad. Honestly, I just want to motivate and inspire other people. Like I came in here like blinders on, had no idea what I was doing. If you dive in and do the work, I promise your life will be changed too.
Yeah, just do the work, right? Do the work. That's really the answer.
Yeah, my famous saying is the magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding. So go do the work, guys.
Oh, Vanessa says you guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
All right, guys. We are moving on to our next speaker. I am actually super, super, super thrilled to have her on here. And she's going to get probably a little bit longer of an introduction only because we have a history. And she is someone that I truly admire. I have found her on Facebook and I saw her frustration with people that did not know how to trade or were acting like they were traders and were putting on this fake facade. And she kept calling them out in a nice way. But I would look at her charts and I'm like, man, she really knows what she's doing. And I never try to recruit people, by the way. I don't ever try to recruit people, but I wanted her. And I was like, I reached out to her and I was like, look, I know you probably don't know who I am or whatever, but I want you on my team. Like, I want you on my team. And this was Forex back in the time. This was a couple years ago. And she was open to it. And she was a breath of fresh air in a Forex team. And then when I started doing stock options, I told her, you need to come to stock options. Like, the money is unreal. Forex is great, but you need to come to stock options. And she was like, we'll see, we'll see. Took a little break. She came back and she's been crushing it. Now, the reason why Nina is very special to me is because she is a swing trader, you guys. She is a swing trader and she specializes in holding trades. Now, with stock options, our money gets better, right? When there's a lot of volume, and that's good for profits. The only hard thing is holding on. She is always making educational videos for our team. She's always trying to help people and they love what she does. So she's going to tell you exactly what she does for her swing setups. All right. Now keep in mind, everybody has their own methods. She's saying what works for her and she has been so successful. She is a little under the weather. So I'm really happy, Nina, that you are doing this for us. I love you for that. Thank you so much. But you guys, we nerd out a lot. Like I said, she's one of the best traders that I know. That's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm gonna let you do your talking and teach and do your thing, girl.
Thank you. Okay, cool. All right. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, we can see you. I'm gonna turn the chat off right now just so you can focus. And then if there's any questions, I'll let you know. But y'all get your pen and paper for swing trades.
Yes, please do. I'm gonna lay it on you. Okay, so my name is Nina. You guys know me as Aneen, Nina, either or is fine. I'm a swing trader and I trade SPX and SPY. I like to trade SPY. Like if you're working with a small account and you're trying to build your way up, you know, you could trade SPY because it's the same exact thing. But if you're dealing with a smaller capital, you can actually practice trading SPY to get used to that psychology of swinging. And then on top of that, it's you know, smaller contracts, more affordable, so it's easier on your mind. So for example, if you're in a swing on SPY, you can hold, right? And be able to just get used to holding instead of like having crazy drawdown like SPX. You can get used to holding and then you can see how easy it is. So you know, I'm just gonna start it off there, but usually I just stick to SPX because the payout is nice. When I'm looking at the market, what I'm focusing on is the higher time frames only. That's it. I always do a top-down analysis. You know, if it's a new month, you want to look at the monthly. But I'm always focused on the weekly. And then, you know, my everyday is going from the daily charts and the 4-hour. And that's all I focus on every day. So when I enter the market, y'all, I'm looking to see how the daily candle closed. And then for extra confirmations, I'm looking at the 4-hour. Now, if the market is choppy, I'll go on a 2-hour just to see how price is reacting on support and resistance levels. That is it. That is all that I do. It's a beautiful thing because it allows you to scale up quicker. And if you have the patience, guys, you can really change your life in a couple of trades in SPX. But I would say SPX is for people who might have a little bit more capital and probably a little bit more experience, because SPX can bite you if you're not careful. So for me in particular, I like to wait for the daily candle to close. I usually get in the market about 2 minutes before. the market closes when I'm entering on trades. And then I'm always looking at the 4-hour candle close to see if it's reacting off a level of support and resistance. Now, an exercise that I like to do and that I've always done, and this is probably something that you guys can do for homework so you could kind of have an understanding of how I dissect the market, is you want to go on your weekly and just kind of circle, like on a trading view, they got like that little oval, or you like draw a little circle. Go on the weekly and go where price action is happening and draw a circle around those pivot points. Just draw a circle where you see price action happens. This is what I really do. Then what happens is you go down to the lower time frame, like go from the weekly, draw them on the weekly, then go to the daily, and just take a look out of how the market respects that bigger move. That way you're not getting caught up in the smaller moves. You're not really sweating to get in on the smaller moves. You can really see the market synchronize when you're looking from a bird's eye view, if that makes sense. So just go on the weekly, draw out those pivot points, and then you go from the weekly to the daily. Then you could go from the daily to the 4-hour, and you could just really see how the market all like syncs together, market correlation. Okay. Let's say if you're a day trader intraday, you can literally go to like the hour and lower, and you can see, if you draw out the ovals on the bigger time frame, you can see how the market, all the small moves of the market is nothing for me. It's just market manipulation. But if you want to get in and scalp the market real quick, because you know where the market is going already, you can corner the market like that and utilize that because you already know. So instead of like a lot of people coming in new and not really understanding market correlation, doing this exercise will kind of help you understand better how the market, even on a smaller time frame, it has to respect the higher time frame support and resistance levels. It has to. One thing that I've learned trading the higher time frames is that you don't want to necessarily get in early because the market has to fluctuate and it has to fake people out. The brokers and everybody, they have to make their money. So you really need to stick to the time frame you're trading on. So like I said, week to week, I look at the weekly, but every day I'm focused on a daily and a 4-hour. That's it. I don't intraday trade. I don't day trade. Sometimes I might scalp, but like I told you guys, I'll scalp based off me knowing what the market is going to do for several days. And the reason why I do that exercise, guys, because if the market is setting up on a higher time frame, like on the weekly, for example, let's say you see a bearish engulfing candle on resistance on the weekly. Okay, let's say you see that. The market is going to go in that direction for weeks at a time, days at a time, 4 hours at a time, and lower. So now that I have a bird's eye view of where the market is going, I could go on the lower time frames, wait for the counter trend to happen, and voila, I get in on the next swing. That's it.
So you have a question, and I know I was hoping we could get someone to share some examples, but someone's asking for an example. I don't know if you're on your phone or able to do that. Are you
Yeah,
able to do it?
I sure can. What would you like to see?
What you basically just said, like where you see what's going on for the week or whatever, like just, obviously don't give out too much info, but just overall, like, hey, this is what I look for. See, I told you to put a circle here. Look at how the market's dancing around or whatever. I think that would be a good, if you're able to do that. I was hoping someone would have visuals. So if you're,
I got, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I definitely can show anybody right now. I can share my screen.
yeah. If not, I'll approve it. So just let me know if I need to approve it.
Yes, let me go ahead and kind of show y'all what I
Or
see. I was hoping that I would get to do this anyways with you guys. Okay, cool. So let me make sure. Okay, that's the monthly. This is the weekly. Can y'all see my screen?
yeah, we can see it.
So this is an exercise that you guys can do on your ticker. So I got the little oval here. And of course, you know, you could draw out your levels, but let's just say we want to keep the chart naked and just pay attention with the naked eye how price action happens. Let's say we're just going to do these areas. I'm going to work on the areas that's just obvious. You know, y'all see how price is reacting off these areas. Now, if I were to draw support and resistance lines, they would be valid if I look to the left. But oops, I didn't mean to do that. Give me a second. I'll just leave that there and use that as an example as well. But let's say, okay, we're going to use this area of support, and let's look to the left. Look at how the market is respecting that, okay? But let's go down to a lower time frame. Look at all of that. So just think, look how much the market dropped. So like, let's just say if you were swinging and you were able to afford these contracts on SPX or SPY, and let's say you saw, let me see if I can get this. Give me a second, y'all. Get the thumbnail.
No,
up
you're
here.
good, you guys. Like, we're patient. I'm sure they're happy that they have a visual for this because swing trading is something that is in high demand.
Okay, actually, I remember placing this trade right here, and I got in on that gap and got out. But let's say, okay, y'all see that I've drew these ovals out on the weekly. Look at the earning potential. Like if you were able to get in like around here, look at that. That's 252 points. Now, of course, you have to have the money to be able to hold that. Usually for me, I like to get in like maybe 1 or 2 out the money, sometimes 3. We should know that later in the week contracts are a little bit cheaper. So I always like to get 1 to 3 out the money, and then I hold it for about 2 to 3 days. But look at the earning potential. Okay, let's just use this example. So this is what the day. Let's go to the 4 hour. Look at all that, the 2 hour. And then what I really wanted to show you guys, since you guys trade on the lower time frames, I'm just going to try to be more relatable. Look at all these moves you could have caught if you were patient. So like, let's say if you wanted to get in on the buy, you could, but guess what? You know, because you looked at the higher time frames that you're going to sell. So you could have got in here for a short, then it went up, got in here for a short. Okay, you saw a little move here, got in for a short. Okay, you didn't get in here, but you got in for another short. That's how I'm able to corner the market. And sometimes if I choose to get in during the day, I could get in and out. But I'm always looking to get in on the higher time frames, period. So let's go back and just go and look at another example. Let's pay attention to this area right here, okay? Now this is a little bit more choppy, of course, and that's why I love to look at the daily. But look at all this earning potential. Let's say if you were able to hold this whole crazy move from here and you got in right here. Look at that. That's like a little doji. Let's say you held it. Just that gap. Look at that. That's 181 points. Think about the earning potential. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? You would know that the market is going to go down for quite a while. Now, in the higher time frames, that's when I do like to get in on the counter trend moves, only on the higher time frames. But once it's over, boom, I'm looking for another short. Oh, I'm looking for another short. And then when the market hits a major level of support, I'm looking to get in for longs. I'm looking to get in for calls. This is literally all that I do. And then if you go to like the hour, you go to the hour, and I hope this is making sense, y'all, because I know I could go a mile a minute sometimes, and sometimes I could be a little.
You're fine. Someone asked, what DTE are you using, and what do you use to set your PTs, or what do you look for when you're exiting a trade? So what
Okay.
DTE and what are you looking for when you exit, for when you exit, like your take profits?
Okay, so usually I'll draw out levels. So like let me give you an example. Let's go back to the daily. Oh, let's go to the daily. I usually set my contracts if I'm trying to do overnight swings. I'll do a 0 DTE and get in right when market opens. And then, but usually when I'm in the swing, I try to hold for at least 2 days, 2 to 3 days max. I'm going to use an example here real quick. So let's say, I'm going to use this example and I'll just draw an area, a line right here. So I remember I actually got in this trade and I showed this in the group. Okay. And I want to just kind of break down something for you guys real quick. Let's see if I could do a playback for you guys really quick. And we're going to put that there. Okay. So I remember I had got in on this. Now, this is what I made a mistake when I was explaining this, but this is actually a pin bar. So when I'm looking at the market and I see stuff like this, let me put it on a split screen so we can get a visual. Okay. We're here, look, we're here on the daily. So on the daily, I'm looking at the daily, then I look at the 4-hour and I see, what do I see? I see a spinning top and another pin bar. I'm getting in. I don't care. Those are confirmations for me. And then this level is a higher time frame support level. So I'm getting in. Now I remember the market had gapped up the following day and I got out because I saw that the market was going to hit a level. And let me see. And I kind of mark my daily levels as I go. And that's how I go about it. Now, I remember I got in on this. I got in on this and caught that gap up. This is another pin bar. So I'm looking on the 4-hour now. Look at that. That's another pin bar. I got in. Okay. And let's just see how it goes when you do a playback. Try to do that again for you guys. So let's say we got in right around here, which I did, and we're looking for a buy. And you already had your confirmations, y'all. You already had the confirmations to get in. Now, let's say you get in, and guess what? It gaps up in your favor. And it gapped up for me, and I was up, I think about 34 points, and I got out that morning because, you know, I'm trying to just build my account to be able to hold longer swings. But let's go ahead and play it back so y'all can see how much potential. Oh my God, this is tedious today.
It's not going to work because you're doing side by side with 2 different time frames, just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm?
Okay, let me, where's my mouse acting crazy? Okay, let me go back to one screen and boom. Okay, thank you for that, Jess. Okay, so we already had our confirmations. Let's see what happens. Market gaps up and it continues to push up. Okay. Look at that. So like if you were able to hold that, oh my gosh, what is this? If you were able to hold that, and let's say I got in here and I just held it up to, let's say I held it up to here because there was a level of support right here. I probably would have closed out naturally around here. I'm not even gonna lie. Boom, that's potential right there. You know, that's 132 points, guys, just for you holding for what? 1, 2, 3 days. Like I said, I try to set my contracts, you know, at least up to 2 to 3 days, because that's when it's going to hit a big level of mine. And that's all that I do. Stop losses for me is a little tricky because I come from a Forex background and I didn't necessarily use stop losses, and I don't encourage that. But for example, if I get in here and it gaps up in my favor and I know it's going to continue, I would set a trailing stop. About $75 to $100 loss, I'm out, because we know that SPX moves.
You have a few questions. You have a few questions.
Okay.
I want to answer these so bad because I feel like, yeah, we go over this, but some people have not probably seen the swing trading video in the advanced section.
Okay.
So what are you looking to enter a long-term trade? What confluences? She pretty much said that, how she looks at the daily. She goes to the weekly, the daily. She sees how it reacts to a level. and then goes down from there. I feel like you answered that already, in my opinion.
Yes. Maybe I wasn't simple enough. So what I'm looking at is to see how candles is forming on the higher time frames, guys. When you see wicks reacting off of a level of support and resistance, and you see certain candlesticks, you need to pay attention. Doji, spinning top, shooting stars. I would highly recommend you guys to watch Jess's 4-hour candle method. Highly recommend you to watch her swing trading video, and also it's another one that I like, the price action video, where she's breaking down certain candlesticks that are money makers, and that's exactly what I do. That's another way I'm able to get in on them overnight holds like you guys see, and then all of a sudden I post a trade and market just open, and y'all be like, dang, but that's all that I do. Now when it comes to me understanding how the market is going to go for a long period of time, you just have to pay attention to market structure, right? So let me
I think that leads to the next question. Someone said, why didn't you hold to that level that you have notated? I already see why you would have exited where you went, but they asked why.
say something about this level up here.
Yeah, you said you would have exited and you pointed to your doji, your long-legged doji, but yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I would have get out that trade is because you never know what the market is going to do. You don't want to assume what the market is going to do. You never want to assume, because the moment you think that you know what it's going to do, you're going to get bit. But what you want to do is build a lot of confluences to make your bias a little bit stronger so you're comfortable placing a trade. And you always want to draw your levels out. For me, though, as well, I draw out levels and I set alarms all the time. So sometimes I don't even catch the whole swing. Like if I made enough money for the day, guys, I'm good. I'm good. But I'm always looking to the left to draw out levels to see what's happening. And that's all that I do. So if I see the market opens, for example, let me draw out another.
Can I add something to it real quick? If you guys
Yes,
noticed, she had the long-legged doji there, but it also was rejecting a gap. So on the top, when you drew your levels up top and you said I would have exited up there, there's a
yeah,
gap there and there's a doji that is rejecting that gap. So when she said I probably would have exited right there, I'm going to assume that's why, because it was showing respect of the gap. And again, she does not know it's going to continue to go up. And she's
yes.
already made quite a bit of money. So like just from a technical perspective, that's a valid reason to exit a trade.
Yes, and if let's say the market is hitting a big level, and these are daily levels, I'm sure if I went on a higher time frames, these could be weekly levels or monthly levels even as well. But these are strong support and resistance levels. So your smaller time frames, either they might have enough momentum to break them, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to test them. You get what I'm saying? So when you're drawing out your analysis this way and you're using strong support and resistance levels, these trades are more likely to go in your favor. You see what I'm saying? And, if I get to a certain area like up here and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get out because I made enough money. It's about to hit a level. I don't have time for SPX to do a retracement and I lose profits. That's why, like, if I get in and I have a gap that goes in my favor, you can set a trailing stop or I'll set alarms. And that's literally what I do. We can use another example even, which I can do for you guys.
Wait. You have one more question, and we still have two other people. I don't mean to sound like that, but
Cool.
someone asked, were you always a swing trader? What made you choose to do swing trades rather than scalp?
Okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna try to make this one less sweet. So when I first started trading, guys, I didn't have a coach like you guys have. Y'all have somebody who's going to teach you right the first time. I had to learn on my own. And after thousands of hours of charting, I had realized, hold on, the higher time frames is where it's at, because I started breaking, like that exercise I showed you guys with these ovals. I started doing that and understanding the market moves in those directions. the market's always going to respect what the higher time frame is doing. So that attracted me to start swinging because I was becoming more profitable as a swing trader. I wasn't getting, my stop loss wasn't getting hit as much. I wasn't caught up in getting faked out. And that's what led me to just swing trading. And it put me at ease not being able to trade as much, but I would trade less and be able to make more money. And not only that, I had a serious full-time job at the time. Thanks to Jess, you know, I don't really work that much anymore. I work like 2 days a week, if that, and soon I'll be done. But this allows you to still be able to work and keep your mind off the charts. You can hold for a couple of days, make some good money, and look for the next setup on the daily. Week to week, you want to look at the weekly charts, and every time the monthly is about to switch, you want to pay attention to what the monthly is doing. But that's why I got into swinging. I saw that when I started to notice chart correlation, and I started to see the market from a bird's eye view, and I was like, oh, so I just been doing what everybody else is doing, getting caught up in the sauce. And no, when you know what the market is doing for a long period of time, you can easily, you know, capitalize off that. And that's what attracted me to doing that. And I haven't went back since, guys. I love swing trading. Like,
Yep.
I love
You got another one, girl. Do you have a monetary goal when entering a trade or solely focusing on the market structure?
I goal. I don't necessarily have a goal. I think my goal is to just be patient enough to wait for certain candles to form. I'm always paying attention to when price hits one of my levels, because since I'm looking at a stronger, since I'm dealing with stronger support and resistance levels, the market has to react off those levels at some point. So my goal is to be patient and just wait for the setups. You know, and that's it, you know, and this way I don't really lose as much. Usually when I lose, it's because it was like everybody, you know, you're not always following your rules. You might get in too early. But I don't lose that much trading like this. So my goal is just to be patient enough to wait for the higher time frames to form. And then I'm able to, once it presents me with a move, I get in. That's my goal.
That's some discipline right there.
It took a long time. It took a long time.
Yeah, no, I want to say thank you for giving the visual you got, like for giving everybody a visual. Excuse me, I can't talk today. I really appreciate that. Obviously, I would love to go into this more in depth, but we have two people, and then I have to go be super mom and go get my kids. But I really hope this enlightened you guys. I do want to add there is a swing trading video in ECA, and it shows you like how to identify what type of contracts you should be looking for when you're back testing it. One thing I do want to mention is that she made a really key point about price action, which we just recently went over. We literally just had class Friday and homework on Monday. So my newer people, they're just now learning it unless they've jumped ahead. But if you see how she drew her higher time frame levels and then just saw like how price reacted to it, the biggest thing was that she waited for the candle to close. That is the hardest thing for most traders to do is wait for the candle to close. So she's not sitting there trying to jump into trades while we're trying to jump into trades. She's waiting at the end of the day to see what potentially that daily candle could look like when it's closing, observing those 4-hour candles, seeing if the higher time frame is giving her any indication to hold it. Now, I will say this because I am aware if you trade the 4-hour, it takes about a day and a half for profits to play out. So if you're trading the 4-hour with most tickers, it takes about a day and a half. That's the average time span for a 4-hour trade. Now it could go longer, but like she mentioned, you have to have the capital for that to happen. So you have to see, number one, can you afford to hold a trade? Now, if you're doing like your SPYs, your QQQs, your DIAs, those are going to be far more affordable to do that with. And it really does pay well. Like it does. You just have to understand that I'm only going to get into a swing if it's bouncing off of my weekly level and my daily candle showing me that it's going to go up and my 4-hour candle showing me that's going to go up. It's like every single time frame has to confirm what you believe is going to happen, and you go from there, and you only determine your risk through back testing. So I want to say thank you. I'm glad that you were able to provide at least an example so that they can go back and they can check for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. I would encourage you guys to just go on your higher time frames on your tickers, circle where price action is happening, and just see the potential you can have with your ticker. And then, start practicing on demo and get used to that psychology of holding a couple of days. I highly recommend it. It'll change your world.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to state, I personally have one account for swings and one account for day trading because psychologically, it is very hard to sit there and look at your swing trade while you're in a day trade. And sometimes your swing may be down for the day, but you're up, like no matter what, but it's down for that day because it's doing a pullback. Psychologically, it can really mess with you. So I recommend opening another account for your swings and keeping your day trading separate. It will help you have just more discipline. They are asking for your Instagram. So if you don't mind typing your Instagram before I open the chat so that they can thank you for all of the nuggets that you've given, that would be great.
I
So are
don't
you able?
have an Instagram. I don't have a Facebook, an Instagram. My Twitter got hacked, and I haven't
Are
made a
you
new
for
Twitter
real?
yet. Yeah, I haven't made. I think I need to go ahead and remake a
Oh,
Twitter.
then I must have tagged your old page, by the way, then. I tagged an old page. So yeah, you guys, she's in the group.
Yeah, just holler at me in the group. I think I'm gonna make another Twitter or X. It's called X now, right? I'm gonna
Yeah,
make
we still
another.
call it Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna make another X account or Twitter account eventually, but I don't. I kind of stepped away from social media because I got tired of people hounding me. So
Yeah, people always asking her how she's taking these wins. I remember, like, I just got it from here. Leave me alone, y'all. She is like, she wants to trade and live her life, and I respect that. I'm not mad at it. That was the point. So keep an eye out for her in the group, in the Minute Stock Options group. That's all I'm gonna say. And hopefully we can do more classes. Maybe when we talk swing trading again, you'd be willing to hop on since, everybody appreciated your insight.
I am more than willing to get a video, get something, put
Yeah.
and I'm willing to help you guys in more detail where I have more time. Anything for y'all.
Yay. Y'all show her some love.
I appreciate that, y'all. I really do. Oh,
You so awesome, girl. Thank you
yes,
for
thank you.
y'all. And she's not feeling well. So she's doing this while she's not feeling well.
Yeah, I got the sweats right now too. Oh God, but I'm good.
All right, well, we gonna send you some prayers because we need you to get better ASAP.
I know, right? But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's so awesome, y'all. We got two more people, so don't leave yet, okay? They're praying for your healing, girl.
Appreciate y'all.
Our next guest is someone that I actually am going to be doing an interview with later this week, but she's also someone that has been with me for quite some time. She was a part of my original boot camps that I did many years ago as I was trying to create content for boot camp training. So she's been with me for a while. She's also a mom, and she went from working 3 jobs to now being a full-time trader. So we're not going to go over her entire story because we are literally going to do an interview and you're going to be able to watch it, and I want you to show love. I want you to show love on that interview. However, I want to say this, you guys. She is a mom of 3. She's got a baby. There are going to be kids in the background. So we apologize in advance, but at the end of the day, this is her life. And there's no better way for you to see how she's handling this than for you to see it just raw and uncut. And I just ask that you guys be understanding. I don't want to hear complaints, nothing. If you don't got kids, oh well, you don't understand. But at the end of the day, I need y'all to show her some love and compassion because it is mom life. It's not easy, but let me tell you, she will teach you something. And I'm really excited. Ivy, are you ready? Is she ready? I don't know if she's going to have her
Yes,
camera on.
ma'am.
All right. All right. So
I'd
you
like
guys,
to introduce myself. As
yay.
y'all can see, I've got a little one with me right now. He's kind of fighting a nap, so I'm so sorry about that. But
No, don't be sorry. This is motherhood. They need to see what's up.
I mean, I almost said I wasn't gonna come and do this today because my sitter flaked last night. I messaged you, and then we just, you were like, no, it's okay. You got to about, and this is my everyday. This is how I do it. You know.
Yes. Yes.
Um, like she said, I was once working 3 full-time jobs, not part-time, but 3 full-time jobs to be able to support my family. And that was very, very hard. I don't know anybody who personally, I don't know another stay-at-home mom who works 3 jobs to be able to, feed kids, take care of kids, and oh, come on, baby, hey,
It's
hey,
okay. You
come on.
let me know whenever you need me to butt in, okay? Oh,
Look,
hi.
hey, look, people are looking at you. Okay. Anywho, so I was working days and nights. Go sit down, please. Thank you. I was working days and nights. I was taking my kids with me to work. I was, just working, and I just decided I couldn't do that anymore. So I started trading, and I was actually really hard on myself when I was trading because I just was like, why am I going to pour more time into something else instead of pouring that into my kids? And then I started making a little bit of money. And the first thing that really showed me that I could do this and make this work was I have an emergency surgery in my mouth for my teeth. And I had looked at all the little bit of work that I had put in trading, and I didn't even realize it, but I was able to pay for my full mouth surgery at cost and didn't have to worry about it. And I still had capital to keep trading. So that was a big moment for me. So then I really sat down and I locked in my trading plan. So I look at my 1 hours, my 1 hour levels. Those are my levels for QQQ. That's what I use for my take profits. I look for my breaks of my 1 hour levels, and I go down to primarily 15, but occasionally a 5 minute to look for my entry. I look for only break and retest. The only time I'll get in if it's not a break and retest is if there's a nice engulfing candle because of news or, just some good momentum that comes, but I still have to see a solid trend line or just, sorry. I just have to see these confirmations, the break and retest, the upgoing of the trend line or the downtrend, keeping my levels where they're at. And for me to be able to make it work, well, I have, my littlest one here, my other 2 kids, is I just set alerts. I glance before my kids wake up. I glance after they eat their breakfast or whatever have you. But we just go. I look at my alerts. I keep going. And I had to be really strict about my stop loss as well. If it hit my stop loss, that was it. I didn't hold on. I keep trying. Like if it hit the stop loss, it was like, oh, okay, try again another day. Now, one thing I will tell y'all about QQQ is I've learned that she will give 3 good days a week. 2, but normally 3. I don't trade every single day. Option to trade every day because I can't afford to lose the money. So I just have to pay really close attention. And another really big thing that helped me was reading the Candlestick Bible and studying that. So, my love, can you just sit still? I'm so sorry, y'all.
No, it's
Um,
okay. It's not that bad. I promise you, it's not bad at all. But you said that you mentioned that you do use the 15-minute and the 5 minute. If you don't mind me asking, what time zone are you in, number one? And when
I'm
do
in
you,
Eastern time zone.
okay, and when do you normally see that QQQ gives you an entry opportunity? Is there like a set time?
So if you watch the end of the day, really, I guess using the 4 hour candle method that coach teaches, the end of the day will give you an indication of what it's going to do the next morning. So I'll pay attention to that as far as looking for that. And so if I have that already open, I'll close it out, kind of like Virginia had said, where she closes it out shortly after market opens. And I'll get that in at the end of the day. Or for getting in trade in the morning, I notice after the first 30 minutes, I'll have my indication if I'm going to get in, if it's going to be a moving day, or if it's not. And if it's not at 10:30, it's going to be at 2:30 is when it's going to show you if there's going to be a move for the day or not.
That's awesome. That's like straight to the point, girl. You know I love straight to the point.
I try really hard. I mean, I don't have a choice but to be straight to the point, I've got
Yeah,
PJ.
no, it's good. It's
Thank you
good.
so
Like
much for the
literally,
address.
I was able to write down everything you said in notes. So just to reiterate, You have 1 hour levels. You're waiting to see how it reacts to your 1 hour levels. You use your 15 minute for entry or 5 minute. You only do break and retest unless there's an engulfing candle because of news. I'm assuming the engulfing candle has to break your level.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And is that on the 15 or the 5?
The 15. I only use 5 minute for entry. I will not look at 5 minute unless I've seen my marks on the 15.
Okay. Okay. Look, you guys, she knows what she wants to do. Look, such a cutie girl.
Thank you.
You
I'm
don't
trying
trade
so
it.
hard.
No, girl, like I promise you, it doesn't. I know as a mom, you may be like, oh my gosh, the baby's not staying still, but he's
Like,
doing
I
good.
really hope this shows you can do it. And another thing I really wanted to say is with not only do I have the baby, who's, obviously still very little, I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I homeschool.
Oh my gosh, I didn't,
I,
girl.
yeah, we homeschool. Like we are all just, the four of us all day, every day. And so classes is not an option. I would say you have to really study and you have to take that time for yourself at nighttime to study after the kids go to bed. I sit down and I'm like, okay, did I miss a move today? Okay, if I did miss a move today, then what can I look for next time? And that's learning price action and the way it reacts to your market structure.
Very nice. I have to say, you look really good for doing all of that because I would have had bags under my eyes, y'all. My hair would have been a hot mess. So you're carrying it very well.
So
Very
much. I
well.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I
Nope,
do have a
there is
question.
this.
What
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
think are your most profitable days? Since you only trade a few days out the week.
I would definitely say I think my most profitable days have been Thursdays and Fridays. And
Okay.
occasionally you'll get a really nice Monday or Tuesday. I just don't know how to trade Wednesdays or if they're really not good days, but I very rarely have a good Wednesday. Unless there's a good news event. But outside of that, I've never had really good Wednesdays.
So that's good.
Have
That
to
gives
watch
you
for,
basic.
like I said, that market structure.
I'm sorry, the reception was off. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I know you got that storm coming through, so um no, and I also watch for volume. I keep my VWAP on, and if my VWAP isn't moving, if that thing's going sideways, then I'm not even looking.
Okay. This is good, girl. Very good. Straight to the point. Does anyone have any questions? Look, not one person asked a question, so you must have been really accurate. What type of DTEs are you using?
Oh, I never, ever, ever have I done zero DTEs. I'm always looking at 1 or 2 DTEs because, God forbid I get too distracted. I don't want to have things messed up because I forgot to close out my trade, you know?
Makes
So
sense.
I always have 1 or 2 DTEs. If I'm looking at the 230 opportunity, I'm doing 3 days expirations.
Okay, very good. Girl, this was awesome. I know that I'm not going to keep you on too long, but this was straight to the point. This was awesome.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
we do have an interview, which I'm really excited about, so I can't wait for us to do that. But I'm glad that everybody got to like really see you and in your element and what you're doing. And this is motivational. I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna open the chat, but if this is not like she literally just told y'all no excuses.
And for me, I used to give myself that excuse. I mean, we'll talk more about this on Friday when we have our interview, but I was very, very hard on myself. I did not think that I deserved this. I thought because of the situation I was in, being single mom, that I needed to stay doing what other single moms did, and that was struggling it out. And I deserve better than that. My kids deserve better than that.
That's right.
And kids sleep at nighttime. So you got to make yourself work during that nighttime.
I'm telling you, like, you have no idea how many people I'll get in my inbox and they'll be like, I don't think I have time for it. Like, I have school and they're young and they're just like,
Oh, you make time.
yeah. So, like, I love this because you are the definition of literally no excuses. If you want this, you will make it work. And, like, you guys, 3 jobs it's gonna drain the crap out of you. And she did what she had to do while she was learning. And she finally, like, she let the job fund the dream. You will hear me say that a lot. The job funded the dream. And she may have not gotten here at the time that she wanted or the time frame she wanted, But
no, that definitely took me, you know, we have our other amazing traders on here that they were part of your boot camps.
yeah.
Excuse me. And for me, like I said, we'll talk more about this, but it took me years. It took me a solid 2 years to be able to do this. And it was no fault of yours. You gave me all the information, but it was all me. I had to believe that I could do it. I had to believe that I was worthy of doing it.
Yeah, and you are, girl. And the thing that I really liked about her, you guys, just, and I know I don't want to say too much, but she held herself accountable. She would message me and she would say, Coach, da da da, I'm doing this, or I'm going to take a break, but I'll be right back. And everything that she had said, she did. And I don't know if messaging me, like, I don't know if you didn't want to let me down or if it was just you finding a way to be
The
accountable.
reason I messaged you is because I remember when it took me longer, you know, before you were able to go into economy and I was with you, I wasn't one of your amazing little guinea pigs that like all of us we were so successful, but I just wasn't one that had as good of results. And I remember telling you, I was like, Coach, I'm gonna make you proud. I'm gonna do this. And so I felt like I had to keep you in line with that, even if it wasn't on the timeline that I originally thought it was gonna be. I did it. I made it happen.
Yeah, you did, girl. You did that. You did that. Like,
I
seriously.
fell out of the groups. Like I just went into really focusing. And the last thing I'll say before I head out, something that really helped me was I want to say about April of last year, I had cut one job out and I had two full-time jobs still. And I was like, man, how can I like up my game? Like I have all this knowledge. I know it's here. How do I execute this knowledge? And I did what I call a 30-day revamp camp. And I took just a regular spiral and I gridded it all out and I wrote my emotions for what I was thinking, the times, the candlesticks that I saw, just every little thing that could have possibly made a difference. I wrote it down. And at the end of that 30 days, that's when I was able to go back and see, oh, Q22 really likes the 1 hour levels that I draw.
Nice. Journaling, y'all. Keep telling you it's the blueprint. I keep
And
saying,
it was also journaling my emotions. Like if I had something going on outside of momming that was taking my emotional focus, it was like, oh, you can't take your emotions out of it today. You need to step away from the charts.
very good. Very good. Yes, if this, look, this was very motivational. Thank you, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate you doing this.
No,
And
thank you for the opportunity.
yeah,
That
and he
you told
did
me
so
it was okay.
good.
He's swarming. And
No,
watch, as
he
soon
did
as I get off of
good.
here, he's gonna lay down and go to sleep.
That's how it is though, right? That's what it is. It's their timing, not ours, right?
Is it
He did
that way with
great, right?
everything?
Look, I think he did absolutely great. So thank you so much, girl. I appreciate
Absolutely.
I don't
Hope
know.
it
Do you
resonated with somebody.
I know you have babies, so I should ask, do you have an Instagram that you want to share or any social media that you want to share?
I'm not active on my socials.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
eventually gonna get to where I make them just for that, because you know I am starting to be profitable. Why not be a little light for you? So I'm gonna make them where I can keep people updated and show people that you can do this while having your kids and doing all the things that you do.
Yeah,
This
I
can
mean,
be an
girl,
addition to your life. You don't have to take things away from your life to be able to do this.
that's right. That's right. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Thank you, Ivy. Thank
All
you
right,
so
y'all. I'm
much.
gonna go get these kids some lunch, and but I hope everybody here